Hello Year 2, it's Miss Addy. Our learning question for maths for today asks us, can I work out multiplication word problems? Our steps to success say, I can read a word problem and find the important numbers. I can use strategies that I have learnt to help me multiply, and I can record a multiplication number sentence. Our first star word is multiplication, and that's the operation that we're using today. And in red, you can see the multiplication symbol. We've got the words array and repeated addition, which we'll talk about a little bit later. We've also got the phrases groups of and lots of, which are words we use to describe multiplication. And we've got the phrase equal groups. Equal means they need the same amount, and in multiplication it's so important that the groups are equal. So can you remind yourselves, what is multiplication? Well done if you use the word operation, because multiplication is one of our operations. We can use addition, subtraction, multiplication and division, and today we're focusing on multiplication. We use the times sign when we're using multiplication. And these are some of the words, some of the synonyms we can use to describe multiplication. We can use the words lots of and groups of. We can use the words multiply and times. We can use the words repeated addition and array. These are strategies, that means ways and methods that will help us to work out multiplication. Now you might remember from yesterday's video, we spoke about the times tables that we need to know in Year 2. Now in Year 2 we need to know the 2 times tables. To know the 2 times tables, we also need to know our multiples of 2, our counting in 2's numbers. And these are even numbers. So you can see by the pattern at the end, the numbers, the product, the answer, they're going up in 2's each time. They are even numbers. We also need to know our 5 times tables. To know our 5 times tables, we need to know our multiples of 5. So look at the answer of each of those. They're going up in 5's. Each answer ends in a 5 or a 0. We also need to know our 10 times tables. And looking at the answers on each of those, you can spot a pattern. They're going up in 10's, and each time they're ending in a 0. So remember, there are number patterns when we work out our multiplication. Can you remember what we use to help us to multiply? Arrays. Arrays are our pictorial representations. Now remember, that is just a very fancy word for pictures. So we can use pictures of anything to help us organise arrays, as long as we're organising them neatly into rows and columns. When we've got our arrays, we can write repeated addition number sentences. And when we've got that, this helps us to write our multiplication number sentence. Now in yesterday's video, we explored a new word. It's a star word that we didn't share at the beginning of today's lesson. Do you remember what it is? It begins with a K. It's a very long word, commutative. Can you say that? Commutative. Now you might have remembered learning about the commutative rule back at school when we were learning about addition. Because the commutative rule tells us that we can swap around our numbers, we can swap around the parts, and the answer, the whole, remains the same. So here we have 6 plus 3, and that totals 9, that equals 9. If I swap those parts around, 3 plus 6, that will still total 9, that will still equal 9. So addition is commutative, but we're not looking at addition today, we're looking at multiplication. Now multiplication is interesting because it's also commutative. 4 times 2 equals 8, and 2 times 4 equals 8. Multiplication is commutative. Now back to our learning question. Our learning question asked us if we can work out multiplication word problems. So today we are focusing on word problems to do with multiplication. Now, when we answer any word problems, it doesn't matter what operation we're using, we still follow the same steps. First, we need to read the problem to understand what it's asking us. When we've read our problem, we need to underline or circle the important numbers and the important words that will help us work it out. When we've done that, we can plan our answer, so we might have to use drawings or cubes or counters to help us answer our problem. Then we can write the number sentence down and we need to solve it to work out the answer. Our first word problem says, T-shirts are sold in packs of 2. I buy 7 packs of T-shirts from the shop. How many T-shirts do I have in total? This is our word problem. At the moment it looks very tricky, but we need to follow those steps to work it out. So now we're going to be detectives. We're going to spot the important numbers in the word problem. Can you see any important numbers that will help us? Good, I can see the number 2, so let's circle that. And I can see the number 7, so let's circle that. Can you spot any important words, any mathematical words that will help us out today? I've spotted in total. Now, in total means that we're going to be combining amounts to help us work this out. So T-shirts are sold in packs of 2. So that means there's 2 T-shirts in a packet. That's a pair. And we're buying 7 packs. We need to work out how many there are altogether in total. So our number sentence says 7 times 2. We could have written 2 times 7 because multiplication is commutative. But because we've been practicing our 2 times table, let's have a go at 7 times 2. Now remember, our T-shirts are sold in packs of 2s, so they're pairs. So we need to make sure we're making equal groups of 2 now. So we need 7 groups with 2 in each group. I've got my 7 groups going down the side. So now we're going to put 2 in each group. So far we've made 1 group of 2. Now we have 2 groups of 2, 3 groups of 2, 4 groups of 2, 5 groups of 2, 6 groups of 2, 7 groups of 2. We have made 7 groups of 2, 7 lots of 2, 7 times 2. And our answer is 14. Shall we double check that by counting the T-shirts in 2s? You can help me. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. It is right. 7 times 2 equals 14. So from that word problem, we found the important numbers and we put them into a multiplication sentence. And then we could work it out using our arrays. Let's try another word problem. This word problem says there are 4 cars. Each car can hold 5 people. How many people are in the cars all together? So again, we're going to be detectives and we're going to look for the important numbers that are in the word problem. Can you spot any important numbers? Great, there's the number 4, so let's circle that. And there's the number 5, so let's circle that. Any important words that might give us a clue to what we need to do? There is the word altogether at the end. This is the same as in total. We use this word when we're adding sometimes, but we also use this word to describe that we're combining. Now remember, multiplication is all about combining groups. So our number sentence says 4 times 5 because we have 4 cars and there are 5 people in each car. So 4 groups of 5. So here I've got my 4 cars. The picture clues will help me work this out. 4 cars. How many people need to be in each car again? That's right, 5. So we need to make sure 5 people are going into each car. Here are 5 people. So we have 1 group of 5. 2 groups of 5. 3 groups of 5. 4 groups of 5. We've made 4 groups of 5. 4 times 5. 4 times 5 equals 20. Shall we count them in 5s to see if it's correct? Ready? 5, 10, 15, 20. It is right. The product, the answer, is 20. So we use this word problem to help us recognise and spot the important numbers so we could put them into a number sentence. Then we worked it out using our arrays. Let's have a go at this last word problem. It says, I go to the shop and buy 8 egg cartons. There are 10 eggs in each carton. How many eggs have I bought in total? Let's be detectives again. Can you spot any important numbers in the word problem? Yes, we've got the number 8, so we're going to circle that. And we've got the number 10, so we're going to circle that. Can you see any important words that might give us a clue? In total. So in total and all together, they tell us to do the same thing, just like in addition, but remember we're combining groups today. Do you know what our number sentence will be? 8 times 10, because we're buying 8 egg cartons and there are 10 eggs in each carton. So 8 times 10 is the same as 8 groups of 10. So we know we have 8 egg cartons and there needs to be 10 eggs in each carton. So we have our 8 groups there and now we need to put 10 in each group. Are you ready? 1 group of 10. 2 groups of 10. 3 groups of 10. 4 groups of 10. 5 groups of 10. 6 groups of 10. 7 groups of 10. 8 groups of 10. Wow, that's a lot of eggs. We've made 8 groups of 10. 8 times 10. And it tells us our answer is 80. Shall we double check by counting in tens? Are you ready? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. It is correct. We have 80 eggs in total. So this goes at the end of our number sentence as our product. 8 times 10 equals 80. Now, just to remind ourselves, we've been learning about word problems today. And multiplication word problems. There were special steps we needed to follow to work out our word problems. Remember, we read them, we find the important numbers and words, we plan our answer so we can draw our arrays, we write the number sentence down, and then we solve it. This is your task for today, Year 2. You can see some word problems. Can you pick one of those word problems to write down and then work out using the steps that we've learnt today? So remember, you need to look for the important numbers and the important words, the clues, and circle them. Then you can write your number sentence down. After, you can work it out. You might need to use arrays to help you work it out. Then you can write the answer down. If you've done one and you think, oh, I can do this, then have a go at another problem or even all 3 of them. Enjoy your task today, Year 2. Goodbye.